Welcome back to the Zone Extra. Time now for our Coach's Corner. He's in his second year at Carmel, and his Greyhounds are currently the top-ranked tennis team in the state. Welcome to the Zone Extra, Carmel head coach Dan Burnett. Dan, appreciate you joining us. Your Greyhounds right now, #1 in the state. How are they handling the pressure and the expectations going forward the rest of the year?
I'll tell you what, first off, thank you for having me on the show. Secondly, we've got a great team. They had won previously 5 years in a row. Last year, they ran into a very tough West Lafayette Harrison team, and North Central ended up winning the state championship. And I think ever since that loss to Harrison and then seeing the Panthers win it all, it's the guys are hungry, very hungry. And the practices have been very crisp, sharp. Guys are pushing each other in the right way. A lot of competition in practice. A lot of competition just to get into the spots to play, and then the pressure of playing, knowing that you got guys that are pushing you in the back and really trying to make you better. It's been impressive. Yeah.
You see the state championship banner right there. You mentioned it already. That streak ended last year, and they're hungry to get back on top. How much of a discussion is that for your guys? Like, hey, we need to talk about last year because that's a motivational factor this year.
It definitely. We have a very difficult schedule, and I think we try not to talk about what happened last year, but at the same time, I think everyone knows in the back of their head we're not going to take anything lightly. Every day is a fight at practice. Every day we got to push each other. No breaks in matches. We've talked a lot about discipline. What it takes to become a great tennis player, and obviously in any sport it's the same, but that discipline piece is, I think, and I know in my head, is really going to pay off here. And it's just been it's a different season, new buy-in, being the second year here and not the first year, and I got hired maybe a week before the season started, so it was a little bit different, and there was a lot of traditions that I wasn't necessarily aware of completely, and time to bring in a little bit of my own spin and get a little more acclimated. And I think it's been really enjoyable. And we've got a lot of kids that are good at tennis and also good people and great students. And so I'm blessed with that. And obviously we're ready to go out and get them this year. Yeah.
You mentioned this is your second year at Carmel. You know North Central well too, because that's of course where you came from.
Yes.
Two dominant programs. For you, what's maybe the biggest difference, or why are both programs so successful? You've been a part of both.
Yeah, definitely. I think it really starts with the infrastructure of tennis in Carmel and in Washington Township. Obviously Barbara Wynn 50 plus years ago had this vision, and North Central was always the hub for tennis and has been, and obviously X amount of years ago it moved, some of the players moved to Carmel and whatnot, but I would say just the tradition, and you've got dedicated families, you've got, now we're looking at second, third generation players that know and understand the tradition of the Northside tennis programs, and put a lot of time in the off season and put a lot of time in even during the season, especially trying to get that state championship and be part of the puzzle, the piece of the puzzle.
You guys, the schedule is completely absurd every year. I know that's sort of by design to also get ready. Here's a look at some of the upcoming matches for his Greyhounds, of course, at Guerin Catholic coming up on September 5th, and it's Park Tudor, and a few road trips, Zionsville, Fishers, Brebeuf. How does this schedule impact you guys going forward?
I think first off, at North Central we always played the hardest schedule we could, and at Carmel it's been the exact same. And you're obviously looking at matchups, trying to figure out not only the temperament of your own players and how they're going to deal with pressure and adversity, but also see where you can put the pieces, the puzzle best in order to be competitive in every single match, all 5 matches. And playing that difficult of a schedule, our guys get tested, and they're used to that test. Versus if some of the schools don't have as many schools around them to play, the competition that we're able to get in Indianapolis and in Hamilton County, and so the guys are ready. They've dealt with that, and going into the state tournament, it's not as big of a question mark of what's going to happen. It's more of, okay, we've done this. Let's go out and play as good as we are. you know, and let's play with confidence.
Confidence, and that's exactly what his Greyhounds have been doing all season long so far. That is Dan Burnett, the head coach of the Carmel tennis team. Dan, appreciate you joining us, and best luck the rest of the year.
All right, thank you.